Let me sum this up. So as a beginner, no. No. High E string. Now watch the tuning peg. I'm turning it and nothing's happening. If I wasn't going to modify this, I would be sending this straight back and I would not buy another Jet. This sticker on the back that says QC pass, quality control pass, not my quality control. I can tell you, if I was there, this wouldn't have passed. So hello everyone, today we're going to be opening up a new package. I've come colourful for the occasion because in here, hopefully, is a very colourful guitar. Anyway, so let's use the trusty craft knife and let's see what's inside this box. So, I don't know if you can see, but this box is actually two boxes that they've stuck together. Right, anyway, let's have a look. Let's get the top off. We have another box inside the box. But this one's a guitar shape, yes. All that packaging for this little box. Right, are you ready for the name of this guitar? It's written on the box. So I'm a little late to the game, but I thought that I would try a little experiment. So, here it is. Any guesses which one it is yet? So it's obviously a budget guitar, and like I said, it's colourful. So, let's see if you can guess. Let's do the big cutting and unveiling. The idea is that I bought a budget guitar because I want to see if I can make or modify a budget guitar to sound and play just as good as my Fender Stratocasters. So there's another clue. Ooh. I'm not very safe, as you can tell. Right. Ooh. Should we have a little look? Yes, I think we should. So, can you guess what it is yet? Like I said, I'm a little bit late to the club. Well, let's see if these are still the same as everyone commented on them about a year ago. So it is in fact a Jet JS300. Yeah. Colourful, like I said. I went for the colourful outfit. Anyway, as you can expect, just like all the multiple videos out there, I'm not going to go into a full debrief. There are hundreds, maybe thousands of videos out there on these things. But as you can see, it appears to be packaged exactly the same. A year later from everyone else. Let's see if we get hidden silicon packets. Oh, we do. There we go. These are handy to keep. Keep them for later. Nice piece of paper. Keep that for baking or something. We've got these foam pads for protecting the switches. Ooh. Very light guitar. It reminds me of my Mexican Strat, but my Japanese Strat is a lot heavier. Yeah. So you've seen the specs online. I'll probably put a link to the specs off the website in the description, but you've got it all, the roasted maple neck, which on this one I'll get you a close-up in a minute, is quite dark compared to the ones I've seen, but it's got a vintage feel to it, like the shape of the neck. Right. Out of tune the best way. Lovely. That doesn't matter. They're not going to come out of the box. To be honest, so disclaimer, not disclaimer, but disclosure, I guess. I don't live in Britain. I moved, so I live in another country, and these Jet guitars are becoming more and more difficult to get your hands on. They are very popular. So the nearest shops to me were in Greece or in Romania, and I didn't particularly want to deal with those countries, so I thought I'd deal with a country that I know the language and know how they operate. So this actually came from England. So yes, it was manufactured in, are they China? I just don't know where they're made. Should have looked that up. They're made in Asia probably, then shipped over to Britain, and then shipped back again outside of Britain. So actually, from the date which I ordered this, it's just got to me. I picked it up yesterday. So it's been a full month I've been waiting for this guitar. No fault from the shop, not the shop's fault. This is the beauty of dealing with customs. But it's got here in one piece, it looks like. So yeah, I'm not expecting it to be in two. And also another thing, so what you guys need to know is I've bought this guitar for using as a modification platform. As you can see, I don't play guitar right-handed. I don't. I like to play my Stratocasters upside down, left-handed. So my plans for this guitar are going to be to actually turn this into a left-handed Strat. Now I know that Jet make left-handed Strats, but for me I don't like the look of a left-handed Strat. So what I prefer to do is take a right-handed Strat and turn it upside down. That's what I've done with my other Strats. So this time I thought I'd buy the favourite hot topic, which is the Jet JS300, and I'm going to make a series of videos showing how to turn a right-handed Stratocaster into a left-handed one. And then I'll compare it with the Fenders that I've already got. And yeah, that's the plan. I've already got the parts, so that'll be happening soon. But I think what we should do is we should have a close-up of this, because I literally just opened it out of the box. You get to see how it looks from the box, and then I'll plug it in and give it a little play, I think, and a tune-up. Right, let's get cracking. So as you can see in the box, we have foam padding, bits of foam stuck in to keep the neck safe, but I ripped that out by accident. It's packaged okay. I can see why it came in another big box, especially for the distance it's travelled. Case candy. So here we go. Oh, elastic band. Yes, that's what you want to see. Anyway. Case candy. Let's have a look what we've got inside. So what you get is you get a cable, which I'm probably not going to use, so that's gone. You get the little Allen key to adjust your saddles on your bridge, And you also get the big Allen key for your truss rod, so that's handy to keep, although I have various tools anyway. And then you get your matching plastic for your tremolo arm. So they're aged, you can see. Well, I say aged, they got that off-white, goldy yellowy colour. Many people have said they look cheap and feel cheap. To be honest, I'm not really bothered. Another issue I have, because I play left-handed, is my arm is always resting on these controls, so they're going to turn a dirty colour anyway. But yeah, apart from that, I mean, the pickup covers, the scratch plate, these covers, they've made an effort for this price point, I'm not going to argue. And the good thing about this tremolo is it's a push-in tremolo. You don't have to screw it in. There we go. So, that's okay, I suppose. Right. I think what I'll do next is... That looks great, doesn't it? Still with all the plastic on. I'm going to keep the plastic on for now. Look at that roasted board, look. Nice. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to do a big comparison, but what I've done is I've brought my #1 Strat that I'm going to try and make this, say copy, not copy, but play like, for a fraction of the price. So I'm not going to do a full review, but let's just go over a few things and explain to you what I have to do to turn it into something like my other guitar, okay? So this isn't a full comparison, but on the left is the new JS300, and on the right is my made in Mexico 2017 classic 50s player Strat, something along that name. They had it's before the Vintage series, so they called it a long name. But anyway, so in terms of aging, they both are supposed to look like 50s guitars. They've got slightly darker maple necks. We've got the plastics are an aged colour. Apart from obviously the JS300 as a 3-ply pick guard, whereas the Fender has a single ply to look more like a 50s. But in essence, these two are supposed to be slightly similar. The Jet also has a 22 fret fingerboard. My Fender only has 21. That's okay. Right, so what have I done to my Strat? So, like I said, I have to make my Strats left-handed. So the first thing that happens is, and this is what I'm going to do to the Jet, is I have to change the nut. Now, I could probably take the Jet's nut and flip it if it's not glued in, because these actually came with a bone nut. Whereas what I do to my Strats is I get the Tusk nut, the composite nut, and I get the left-handed one. I've already bought one. So I really like these nuts, they're really good. They help with tuning and all that jazz. Okay, so that's the first step, is to change for a Tusk nut. That involves taking out the old nut. On this guitar, I've got vintage style locking tuners. On the Jet, they come with no locking tuners, so I've bought a pack of some more locking tuners, so I'm going to change those as well. So changing the nut will make it left-handed. I also have to use the string tree, but the string tree will be for the thicker strings, so there has to be some changes there. Alright, we move down, and also what I like to do is, if you can spot it, I have to have the strap lock on the other side. So what I used to do was just use the standard strap lock, strap buttons, but now I've discovered strap locks, which I really like. So we're going to be fitting a set of these. So I bought a new strap for this guitar, and what we're going to do is we're going to drill a hole and we're going to put a strap button in there. And then moving down, the pickups in this are Seymour Duncan. We've got SSL 1s here and an SSL 5. What I actually have for this guitar are the old pickups from the Fender. So they came with vintage style coils. I've heard these pickups in the Jets are wonderful. We're going to hear it in a minute. But I think to make it a fair comparison, I'm going to take the old pickups from this and put them in here. I found them in a box. So we're going to do that whilst we have the pick guard off, because the strings will be off. I don't care what strings come on this guitar because I'm going to take them off. I can't use them. They're the wrong way round for me. If you can see, I have the low E string this side. So these have to come off. Let's have a feel. I play 10 to, is it 46? D'Addario 10s. I love the D'Addario 10s. These feel very similar in terms of size. So I think these come with 10s as well. Although, lovely. Anyway, whilst the scratch plate is off, I can do some wiring modifications. So we have the volume control here, we have the tone for the neck pickup, and we have the tone for the middle pickup. On my guitar, I've got videos for these modifications. I've actually wired the tone, this tone control, to both the middle and the bridge. So effectively, when I'm in the bridge pickup mode, I can affect the tone. And in the middle, this is a 5-way selector. Same on this. I like 5 ways. I'm not a purist. I don't want to go for the 3-way. I like the in-between sounds. So what else do we do? Well, now the bridge on the Fender is a Callahan bridge. So we'll keep that. That's lovely bridge. The tuning on this is great. I've heard that the bridges on these are fantastic for the price. So I'm going to keep the bridge as it is. I'm not going to change that. The one thing I am going to change from stock, apart from the pickups, is the switch. So I've heard these are a nasty and they feel not as nice. This is a proper Fender switch. Oh, you can hear the I don't know if you can hear that. And it feels nice. This, and it's very stiff and notchy. You can tell it's cheap. So what I have is I have another one of these. I ordered one. So I'm going to change this switch to a proper Fender switch. The output jack, to be honest, the Fender one is just as bad as the normal ones. They just come loose with the nut. You have to keep tightening the nut up, and connections wise, I've always had. You have to keep them clean. So upgrading this to a Fender input jack, in my opinion, is just not the same. I'd have to change it to something else, but I don't have an upgraded output jack on this guitar yet. So we'll keep those as they are. And then, yeah, we change this strap button to a strap lock. I've got a choice of black, silver, or gold. So I think I might go with gold. I think it will look well with the roasted maple board. So yeah, as you can see, I'm a maple fretboard man. That's what I like to play. And then this one on this Jet is just lovely and dark. The logo, the headstock logo, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. It's not too bad. I don't know. It's very obtuse. I mean, when you compare that to the Fender one, I mean, that just looks classy and nice. Whereas this is a bit in your face. I wish they'd have made this a bit smaller. Like as small as the Fender logo, but hey ho, it is what it is. I might just leave that for now. Maybe in the future I might sand that off, but that's the only negative I have of this guitar so far without playing it. So is that logo. I don't know. It's not a deal breaker. The shape of the headstock though is gorgeous. That's a good shape compared to this. Very classy, very nice. Yeah, this doesn't actually have a truss rod adjustment there. That's just a piece of wood. It's actually down here. So a plus point for the Jet, I don't know if you can see it, is you can adjust the truss rod up here, which is, I don't know. Also, when I make this left-handed, I have to obviously do a full setup. So I may have to adjust the truss rod, I don't know, but I definitely will have to change the position of the saddles for intonation. As you can see, there's my Strat. They're random, well, not randomly, but it turned out that they're quite linear. Normally on a Strat, I've seen when you get to the D and the G strings, they're all the way down, but and it like this one. But I've set up this guitar, intonated it, and it's great. Right, so that was a bit more thorough than I thought that side by side would be, but I also got to tell you what I want to do. So brilliant. I think the next thing we can do is plug this in, tune it up, and see how it sounds out the box. Right, so for the first try out the box, we've got my Fender tuner, just to put on the headstock, and I've got a matching Fender cable. We're just gonna go from the guitar straight into a katana. I've got my preset dirty clean sound that I like to use. So we're going to keep the stickers on because like I said, I'm going to modify this guitar. We go in. Let's see if there's a sound first. Oh, lovely. This song is called Out of Tune. It's a jazz song, anyway. So let's just get this tune on. I'll probably speed this bit up. You don't want to see me tune. Oh wow. If I can get it on. There we go. So also I like to tune to E flat. So I've got the Boss Katana Mark II 50 watt combo, and I've got my Mexican Strat there, my number 1. So we'll just compare to begin with what this sounds like compared to this, and then in the future videos when I actually modify this, we'll do it again. That'll do. Right, so we're in tune-ish. I'll be honest, I don't like the machine heads at all. I think that's the downfall of this guitar so far, on first impressions. Quite a chunky neck. I mean, we've got the rolled edges on the frets. I mean, these are the Fender ones, and I know these have, I think they have a patent on it, the way they roll them. Well, I think of a different brand. Anyway, these feel nice, but I wouldn't say like super nice. Maybe just me. They're good though. The frets are definitely different. These are a bit thicker. These may be a medium jumbo sort of style. Right, so I'll try my best to play. I have to play upside down, okay? Like I said, the strings are the wrong way. I'm left-handed. Ooh. So tremolo wise, this comes flush to the body, okay? If you see here, look, you can't go back. You can only go forwards, okay? So to set that up, you have to really press on it. On my Strat, I've got it more floating, but this can be adjusted. I keep swapping. On my white Strat, I've got it the same as this, flush to the body, and you have to really push on it. So my actual intention for this guitar is to have it in standard tuning. That's why I bought it. So I like to play my songs, I play in E flat. But when it comes to playing songs that are in standard or cover songs, oh, look at the colour. I have to I have to tune the guitar. So I thought I'd get a guitar dedicated for standard tuning. But for now, we'll just keep it in E flat to match with this. E minor a lot. You do the old Adrian Belew. Still moves. But it's, I've just tuned it up once and it appears to be in tune. Let's play something a bit. Oh, that's really... You can't really use that for, you know, shadowy... No, it's not for whamming like this setup. This has to be set up differently. But it's good for the dive bomb. We'll put some distortion on in a minute. So this is like my dirty clean sound, so I can get the funk sound. That's the bridge pickup, neck pickup, medium middle pickup. It's got the honk. Let's put some compression on that, shall we? I think that's this one. Whammy bar. It'll take a while for it to. Right, so the machine heads. Let me turn off that distortion. Let me show you what I mean. So there's literally to tune up. It's all down. When you go down the machine heads, it'll go down. But going up, there's a little bit of a gap before it moves. It's really difficult to... It's difficult to tune up. It's taking... Like with the Fender, with my locking tuners on this, so that's what I'm going to upgrade first. The locking tuners on the Fender is just in, tune up, done. And it feels nice. There's travel. There's no slack in the gearing, I should say. With this... definitely slack in the gearing, so that's one downfall. My first impressions, that's the only downfall really. Oh well, let's turn the tuner on instead of guessing. Difficult to get into tune with these. Yeah, they're all going to be flat. But it's like if you go up too much, to go back down, it drops a lot, and then you've got to build yourself, you've got to go down and build up again. I can't really explain it, you'd have to play these. But I did hear online, that's a problem. Well, not a problem as such. See, you saw me turn that at least 3 times and nothing happened with the tuning. It just didn't didn't go up in pitch. So yeah, the tuners are definitely something that needs to be checked. If you buy one of these, I'd recommend changing the tuners, which is an easy job to do, as long as you buy the right ones, for anyone. So I'd recommend that. Pickups wise, I mean, sounds okay. Neck wise, it feels very vintage to me, more vintage than this one. This is supposed to be on the Fender, it's like a V shape. I think they call it the soft V, which I really like. Whereas this one is more like my white 60s reissue Strat. So it's more like chunky, I can't explain it. But it still feels good. And the fretboard radius. I mean, a lot of people say they can't tell. They don't care. I mean, to an extent, I don't care. But I can... On this neck, I can definitely feel the radius difference. It's definitely a lot flatter on this. But I've played American Strats, 50s Strats, when they've got the reissues from the early 2000s, when they come with a flat 9.5 inch radius like this. Feels the same. So I suppose it's good for... You want to do stuff like that. Stuff like that. Very, very scratchy as well. Don't know if you can hear that. Let me turn the volume down. But very scratchy. But I don't know if that's the frets or if that's just the strings are just cack. But yeah, the strings that come on this guitar aren't very good at all. The tremolos, you can't use it, that'll need doing. The tuners aren't very good. This is sounding negative right now, but trust me, it's not. It's because once you get into this territory, and I have to be mindful of the price difference, okay? This one is like 5 times more than this. Once you modify this, I'm hoping. I'm going to do a comparison later on. But yes, get playing it. Let's whap on some gain. Nothing happens. There we go. where do you want to be? Yes. Then it goes high. It's like nothing, nothing. There. Anyway, the neck. The neck feels fantastic. I'll give them that. And we've got the lovely... Let me turn the volume down. Oh, that's another thing actually. The volume actually does something. I've been told these are like really cheap electronics, right? But watch this. Like it actually does something. Yeah, these strings are rubbish. Right, and then let's try the tone. Oh, no, we're not wired on that one. So that's tone all the way onto 10. Out of tune, don't worry about that. The tone actually does something. Sometimes with cheap tone controls, they only either work in the last 3 or the first 3, you know, units out of 10. But these seem to work, so I'll give them that. So I'm going to keep the electronics, but I'm going to change the switch. That really is, can you hear? Yeah. Right, so turn the drive off for that. What I'm going to do is let's swap this to its competitor, the one I'm going to be trying to emulate. And then after that, I'll give you my final thoughts on this guitar. Oh, this is strung the correct way. I'm used to playing upside down now. Right, so the only thing is I forgot my whammy bar. So, as we said, this doesn't fit. They're not threaded, so I can't be bothered to go get the whammy bar. So we'll just do it without. When we're on the bridge, no, the neck pickup, it's already a lot brighter, yeah? The output and power of these pickups though were quite a lot. I mean, these are Seymour Duncan SSL 1s on the bridge and middle, on the neck and middle, and we got a 5 on the back for that Gilmore. Oh. I mean, already, yeah, these pickups sound a lot better. Right, so Seymour Duncan's the winner. Being just a lot clearer. So, definitely worth upgrading the pickups on this, but they sound good as they are. They're a very high output, it sounded like, higher than these. Could be the way I've got them set up though. These come not too close to the body. I like to screw them down a little bit more to the body. Right, let's put some drive on. yes, okay. But neck-wise, there's not a lot in it. Oh, see? Told you about the jack socket. And I've had this apart. Fender jack socket, they're just as bad as the cheap Chinese jack socket. I think we're going to be ordering a replacement jack socket. Anyway, this isn't a comparison video. Oh, it feels like one. Right, so we'll put you away. Still number one. Right. Oh, I thought this was light. It is compared to the white one, but this one's even lighter. So I think these are supposed to be a basswood body. Yeah. I hope that's. No, it's not damaged, thank God. Anyway, I usually take the the back plate and I chuck it away. So I won't be needing that. So yeah, can you see how they're not as cleaner and crisper as this? And also noisy, the old Strat hum. But I've got shielding in this, so that's probably why as well. And the Seymour Duncans are pretty good with that. So that's another modification. I've got some tape in there. So the volume's there's plenty of volume. It's just not as clear. Still though, the neck's really good. The shapes, you can do all that you want to do because of the flatter radius. I can definitely feel the difference. Never thought I'd ever say that. Sound like a cork sniffer now. But which do I prefer? Don't care. I like both. They're quite nice. Both are quite nice. Those bloody tuning pegs. Yeah, those tuners. Right, don't like the tuners at all. Right, okay. We've played it. We compared it with this one. Now I'll give you my final thought, I suppose. So, let's get it. So what's my final thoughts? Well, this is going to be a bit of a long explanation. Right, let's get out the way the fact that I'm not a beginner guitarist. So apparently this guitar is budget and it's aimed at beginners. So you're supposed to be able to take it out the box. It comes with a cable, and you're supposed to just be able to tune up and you're supposed to play. But I'm not a beginner, and my other guitars aren't budget guitars. So I need to get rid of that aspect of my opinion, because this compared as it is compared to my Fenders is nowhere near in the same league. I know everyone raves about these guitars, but I don't think they're for beginner either. So that's why I have a different opinion compared to the other people that have reviewed these. So off the bat, from the case, let's just talk about what you get from the case. So negatives. So upon inspecting this further, since I've had it, I've spent an hour or two tuning it, trying to play it, using the whammy bar, and for something that comes out the box, it's not there, in my opinion. Okay, this is definitely a guitar that you have to work on to get it to play at a higher level, which is gonna probably annoy some people when I say that, but hear me out. So let's imagine I'm a beginner, and if I got this out the box and I tried to play it as it is, I would be disappointed with my playing. But it's not through a beginner's fault. So let me just show you some examples, okay? Before we even talk about some of the build quality, okay? So if I just demonstrate here, high E string. Now watch the tuning peg. I'm turning it and nothing's happening, okay? So the tuning pegs are a big issue with this guitar. There's another issue with the tuning on the other end. So if I go to the low E, if I bend this string, which isn't out of the ordinary, can you hear it? It goes out of tune lower. If I then use the whammy bar, so I've not done anything, higher, it's coming down, I bend it, lower, now it's in tune, use the whammy bar, it's nearly a whole semitone higher. But then, without touching the tuner, now it's gone down a whole a semitone without even touching the tuner. And I've pulled on the strings, I've played it for an hour. It just ain't staying in tune. And I've not even turned it left-handed yet. So that could be down to the strings just being awful, which they are, out the pack. So I'm just calling it how it is. As a beginner, beginners don't understand why these things happen or how to get around these. So that's why I'm saying if I was a beginner and I was given this guitar and I didn't do anything out of the box, like tech-wise, and I just tried to tune it up and play, I'd be struggling to sound good. I'd be out of tune all the time, but it wouldn't be my fault. So that's why I'm saying this isn't really for a beginner. Which leads me on to why I've bought it, because you're probably thinking, oh, well, all he's saying is negative things. Well, the tuners are a big issue, but I'm not a beginner guitarist, so I already have some locking tuners ready to replace these. And I think that'll get rid of a lot of these tuning issues already. I just wish that Jet would have spent an extra 40, 50 pounds or 60 euros, whatever it is, just for some better tuners. Maybe that would affect the price of the guitar. I don't know. I don't think the Squire has that problem at this price point with the tuners. Maybe I've got a Friday afternoon guitar. Maybe there's a problem with this tuning peg and this one. I don't know. The whammy bar's flush to the body, that's just a setup. I've not done any intonation setup, but there's no point. Because I'm gonna change it to be left-handed, so that doesn't matter. The neck though, when I first felt it, the frets did feel sharp. But now I've just had an hour going up and down. Oh, that was a whole tone down. Now I've actually played it, the frets seem fine. I think it's just maybe my hands getting used to it, I don't know. But the neck, the fretboard, the radius, the pickups, I mean, and the volume. Let's do middle pickup. Put it onto the neck if you want. That's with the volume down, and it's... And then you turn the volume up, listen to this middle pickup. It's got the honk. as soon as you touch the whammy bar, it goes out. So I've just given up on the whammy bar. In fact, there we go. Give up on the whammy bar. It needs some work done. Hopefully the tuners alleviate that. The saddles. So let's go on some more issues I had. Out the box. Sound-wise is good. The saddles. I noticed when I pulled it out that the strings weren't actually sat in the saddles properly. And I should have taken a picture of this before I did anything about it. What I did was it was as if the strings weren't all in the middle of the saddles. It's as if the saddles had shifted this way. So I had to, with the whammy bar, get the whammy bar. So I had to put the whammy bar down to relieve the tension and physically move all the saddles that way. Be out of tune now. Yeah. Because one of the strings was actually sitting on the Allen key. The head of the Allen key. Okay? Which means you can't intonate the strings. Anyway. But like I said, as a beginner, you wouldn't know that there'd be a problem with the saddles. It's as if they don't line up with the hole. Anyway. Way too sharp. And I've been on this for an hour. They should have settled by now. So they were all up a whole semitone. Positives though. This neck is gorgeous. I'm going to say it's gorgeous. It looks good. It does play very nicely, albeit the strings. It sits well. I mean, the neck pocket seems fine. The whole guitar, I mean, I can't comment on the contours, obviously, because I don't play it the correct way. The controls are brilliant, I must say. To say these are the thing people complain about and are too cheap, they're the thing I think that work the most. You can lower the volume, clean it up a bit, then you turn it up, and these ceramic pickups have some dynamic quality to them, which is pretty good. You can play it, or you can just soften it up, yeah? So they're good. And I like how the cable matches the colour. The colour's brilliant to die for. So, let me sum this up. So as a beginner, no. This still has, I still think beginners should have guitars around the range of 400 to £500. Just better machine heads, better quality, and then they can play, sound in tune, and they can work on trying to play instead of being put off by sounding rubbish, but it's not their fault. If they sound rubbish and it's their fault, it makes them learn. We can get into a whole discussion on this, but I wouldn't give this to a beginner as it is. It would be, you would buy this, you would have to modify the tuners and get someone who knows what they're doing to get it in tune and to play nicely. Maybe even forget about the tremolo arm to start with. and a good setup, yeah? After that, I'm pretty sure this is a fantastic guitar. And hopefully I'm going to find out when I convert it to left-handed. There we go. It just takes too long to settle. And then as soon as... Still there, so there's a problem with that. So And like I said, quality. The saddles were in the wrong. They weren't sat properly. I've moved them now, but I don't know. There's no groove in the saddle for the string to sit in. Maybe that's why it all moved. And also finishing. You won't be able to see this. You won't be able to see here at all. I've got a big line here, and I've tried rubbing it off. And I've tried. I mean, it's as if it's got picking scratch marks already, but it's brand new. So this sticker on the back that says QC pass, quality control pass, not my quality control. I can tell you, if I was there, this wouldn't have passed. But, as you cry, take it back. I'm not going to take it back because I'm going to modify it. So that leads me on to why I have this guitar. This is what I think it's aimed at instead. It shouldn't be aimed at beginners. It should be aimed at intermediates or even higher level that want a budget guitar that they can use as a base, a foundation to modify. So you want the roasted maple neck, you want the S-style shape, you want it to feel good, but you don't mind changing the pickups or the switches or the tone control or the saddles. The nut seems pretty good. Maybe you wouldn't change that. I have to because I'm left-handed, but you want to change the tuners, yeah? So then that makes it appealing. So it's good that it's its price range, because then you can take all those bits off, put the bits you actually want on, and end up with a guitar that's hopefully a quarter of the price of a Fender with the same stuff. So that's what I'm going to try and find out with this guitar. That's why I'm not sending it back. If I wasn't going to modify this, I would be sending this straight back, and I would not buy another Jet. That's my honest opinion. Yeah, and this, can you hear this? That is scratchy fret. Settle a little bit more. Yeah, anyway, that's it. That's my verdict. Not for a beginner, but maybe awesome as a modifying platform. So, that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed this rather long unboxing video. Indeed, thank you for watching. Comment, like and subscribe what you think. I may be totally wrong and an idiot. Most likely. Anyway.
Bye.